name is Joey Moeller, and this is my life lesson speech. And here's the audience right here. And I'd like to start off with a quote. It's by Jim Rohn. He said, "Take care of your body. It's the only place you have to live." And that holds very true for what I'm about to talk to you about today. It's a life lesson that I hope nobody has to go through, and it involves taking care of your spine. During this time, I'll be talking about my progression from being really physically fit to being in a wheelchair. It was very subtle and it was very devastating what happened to me. Before I get into what happened this year with my back, I'd like to give you a little back history. When I was growing up, I was in high school and I was an athlete, and I was in pretty much every sport you can imagine. I was in baseball, football, soccer, powerlifting. So I was really in shape, and I worked out all the time, and I really had a lot of energy, and I could lift things off the ground, no problem, and I always wanted to help people out. So I really didn't think twice about using my back for lifting heavy objects or pulling things. And then I got into the Marine Corps, and the same thing happened. I was always in shape, always worked out, always ran, and of course in the military, you want to be tough and you want to impress your friends, so you don't really ask for help when you're lifting things off the ground. And plus we had really heavy backpacks that we had to carry around everywhere, and we would just load them up with whatever we wanted. But we didn't think twice about our backs in that time. After the Marine Corps, I got into firefighting, and that was a very back-demanding job too. I'm still doing it today. The packs we wear, all of our gear weighs a little over 80 pounds, and once you start pulling hose and things like that, it can really put a strain on yourself. I did that for several years, but I started to notice during those years that I was having some minor back problems. It was just a little subtle pain that just didn't, kind of annoyed me every once in a while, and it would come and go. And at one point, my wife actually came to me and asked me to go see somebody about it. And so I listened to her, and I went to a chiropractor. And the gentleman really didn't, he took some x-rays, he really couldn't tell what was going on, but he tried to adjust me, and it helped out for a little bit, but I just stopped going because it was so expensive. After a couple more years of minor back pain is when things started going downhill, and that happened in the beginning of 2015. I went to my battalion chief and told him that the pain got so severe that I couldn't even do my job anymore. So I went on light duty, and I ended up getting an MRI, and they found 2 herniated discs and 2 fractures in my spine. In about a month and a half time, I went from standing up like this to this to this to this, and then I couldn't even barely walk, and then I had to get into a wheelchair. The pain was so severe that it brought me to tears, and I've never cried in pain in my life. After about a month or so of going through doctors, I finally found one in Houston, and he rushed me into surgery within about a week, and they repaired my spine by actually taking chunks of my vertebrae out. So some of my vertebrae are just U-shaped, where it's just skin, muscle, and my spine. And then they also put 2 screws where the fractures were. The recovery was almost as bad as the pain before the surgery. I had PT for approximately 8 months, during which they worked with me and tried to help me regain my strength in my back. Luckily, I was able to go back to firefighting, and that's what I'm doing today. And I'm still in pain most of the time. There's some times during the day where I don't feel anything, but it's very, very rare. But today I would just like to let you know that you need to listen to your body, and I really don't want you to live a life of pain like I have right now. So thank you, and thank you for your time.